we're here tonight at the 22 VES Honors celebration, and you have just been named a new VES Fellow. So what does that mean to you, getting this honor from your peers in the society?
Well, I got a very early start in computer animation and graphics. In college, I was lucky enough to run into some people that were at the very start of the industry in 1974. And we started making images with computers. I inherited a filmmaking background from my older brother, Randall, directed Grease and The Blue Lagoon. And so I was interested in filmmaking, but also interested in computer science. And when I found the ability to make images with computers, that was like a light bulb in my head, and I haven't looked back. I started a company with those people from Syracuse University. I went to Colgate University, and I was very lucky because Colgate allowed me to create a major in between the fine arts department and the computer science department. Those two departments were not communicating at all, and I kept telling the fine arts people we should be using computers to make imagery, and I told the computer science people we should use the computers to make art, and they just didn't get it. But they said, "What do you want?" I said, "I want to have a major right in between." So I was able to have a computer graphics major at Colgate, and there weren't any really at that time in 76. So I formed a company, Digital Effects, in New York with the people that I had met at Syracuse, and we worked on Tron, and we're way ahead of the game. And unfortunately, the dynamics of the personalities in that company didn't allow us to survive. We closed the company down, and I went to Omnibus on the lot at Paramount. We did Flight of the Navigator with my brother Randall, who directed that film. And then that company was consumed by Digital Omnibus Able, which was Omnibus consumed Digital Productions and Robert Able and Associates, and went out of business. And then my partner Diana Walczak and I started Kleiser Walczak Construction Company, and we were interested in using Diana's skills as a sculptor to create human form, human faces, phonemes of speech, digitizing them, bringing computer-generated characters to life, which we called synthespians. And that kind of evolved into Synthespian Studios, which we're still operating now. Although we don't like running a facility anymore, it's just too much pressure. I'm more interested as working as a visual effects supervisor, where somebody else takes care of all the hardware and software, and I just do what I do, and don't have to be responsible for all the hardware and software.
Got it. So, you have been in the industry for a number of decades. You're looked up to now as a role model. Mm-hmm. So when you think of sort of, young or aspiring professionals, just at the beginning of their journey in the visual effects industry, mm-hmm. do you have any special advice for them?
Well, when I started out, there were no rules. There was no software off the shelf that you could learn. If you wanted to make a computer do something, you had to write a program to make it do it. So it's quite a bit different now. I had to learn to be a modeler and an animator and a lighter and do everything because there was nothing out there. And so my pathway is very different from somebody who's starting out now, where all the different divisions of a visual effects project are very, very well routinized and specialized, and people tend to not learn, if you're working on a big project, you tend to be funneled into doing modeling or an animator or a lighting person. Mm-hmm. And you don't get the sort of Rembrandts that can do everything, that we used to do. But I would say that the most important thing for a young person to do is try everything that is in the process, and mm-hmm. figure out what they like, what makes them feel good, what they're good at, and try to focus on that. But try to keep a broad review. I mean, the companies that I started and managed, we were always looking for people that could do lots of different things. The people that you could, this weekend we need somebody to focus on that, and we didn't have like sections and departments. We had people that could do everything, and mm-hmm. that was a different age, really. Nowadays, you have thousands of people working in hundreds of departments, and it's a whole different world. But find what you love and focus on that.
Okay, great.